So now we're live on Periscope and YouTube. Welcome to the Maven and our show today about celebrity birthdays. Every week we do different shows. Yesterday was Wacky Holidays to let you know the Wacky Holidays coming up. Now it's celebrity birthdays. Tomorrow, quantum research. A little bit more esoteric in what we talk about. And then also, Thursday, This Day in History, and Friday is travel, with Saturday being the weekly news headlines and our deconstructed story that we do on the weekend. And that's where we develop our critical thinking skills. But today's just entertainment, celebrity birthdays. So who have we got today? Let's get the PowerPoint going. So, Deconstructed with the Maven, that's kind of the whole brand. And I'm going to go celebrity birthdays. So for Tuesday the 24th, who had a birthday? Well, Shirley MacLaine was born in 1934. She's an actress. What a career. Spanned her entire lifeline. If you're not familiar, there's her name. Go ahead and check her out. I'm sure you can find clips and maybe even some full movies on YouTube or whatever other kind of movie site that you use. All right. Next up, Sue Grafton, born in 1940. She just died this year. Really sad for me. I'm a huge Sue Grafton fan. This was her last book. And so a lot of the merchandise now says the alphabet ends with X, because there's not going to be any ghostwriters or anything like that. She started with A, like A is for arson, and this one is X, and so it's the alphabet murders, and the main character is Kinsey McElhone. Kinsey McElhone. I'm thinking of the actress Milhone. I think whatever. Anyway, Kinsey is like an awesome private detective that goes about solving various crimes, and so we miss you, Sue Grafton. And if you haven't read one of her books, go ahead, pick one up. Start with A. I enjoy them. All right, Barbra Streisand, born in 1942, very, very famous singer and actress, again, spanning an entire lifetime. And so check out her movies. So many. My favorites are the What's Up, Doc series. There were maybe 2 or 3 movies, and she's in San Francisco because I grew up around San Francisco, and she's got a little Volkswagen Bug. I think Ryan O'Neal's in them with her, and Yentl. Oh my gosh, loved Yentl. Tons and tons and tons of things with Barbra Streisand. Moving on, 1983, Kelly Clarkson was born. She was the first American Idol participant to win a Grammy Award, and now she's on The Voice. So she's still busy. Okay, April 25th. So who has a birthday on April 25th? Oliver Cromwell was born in 1599. Therefore, the 1600s were basically full of his lifetime, and he was really big in English military politics. Oliver Cromwell. Okay. Guglielmo, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but Marconi, I can say Marconi. He was born in 1874. He's an Italian inventor who is credited with inventing the radio telegraph system. Now, I have always known dots and dashes, dot, 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 dash, 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 SOS for help. But now that I'm doing a lot of crossword puzzles all the time, sometimes they're dits or dats or something instead of dots. What? But whatever. Dots and dashes is what they are for me. Ella Fitzgerald, 1918. She's listed here as a vocalist and known as the First Lady of Song. Amazing, amazing jazz blues standards. You know, Ella Fitzgerald. If you haven't heard her music, you know where to find it. Al Pacino, born in 1940. Again, an actor with a lifetime career. Very, very young. Dog Days Afternoon. Something like that. And then, of course, he was in the Godfather movies, and then he was Scarface. I watched Scarface years after it first came out, and I thought, this is so cliche. What's going on, you know? I thought this was supposed to be some kind of, like, big deal. And then I realized, oh, like, back when it came out, nobody really understood all of the drug culture, the cocaine culture that was going on. And then, you know, we had Miami Vice. It was a TV series kind of in that scene. Hey, Maverick, thanks for joining. So we're right now on, I believe, Wednesday, the 24th, and who has birthdays? And Al Pacino. I knew his father, Sal Pacino. I used to dance with him all the time in Los Angeles when I lived there. All righty. Renee Zellweger, 1969. Very, very famous actress. I think Bridget Jones' Diary was the first thing that kind of launched her career. And was that Cold Mountain she was in? Kind of Civil War, set in North Carolina. Or it was filmed in North Carolina. Could have been set anywhere in the South. Hey, Toledo, welcome. Thanks for joining. And if you want to join live, then you follow me on Periscope and get notified. But okay, so I was looking for a picture of Renee Zellweger, and I didn't realize this controversy kind of stuff was going on. That, like, okay, here you've got the Renee Zellweger I know, and then here's the Renee Zellweger now. And I had to, like, go, wait a minute, this isn't real. This is some kind of, like, joke. So I had to, like, click, you know, actually visit some of the sites. And sure enough, you know, if you go to her IMDb, it's like this one is the picture. And I'm like, when did that happen? So people are accusing her of getting all this plastic surgery and stuff. Well, I don't know, she certainly does look different. Maybe that's just how she's aged. I don't know. Weird. Okay, moving on to Thursday, the 26th. Who has birthdays that you can be celebrating this week? Well, it's John James Audubon. He was born in 1785, an ornithologist. That's someone who studies birds. So as a naturalist and a painter, he went all over and drew, you know, painted pictures of birds. And like, there's Birds of America, I think was the name of his book. And so now there's the Audubon Society that helps encourage people to take care of nature. All right. Charles Richter, born in 1900. So I guess he wasn't old enough to have created the Richter scale during that great San Francisco earthquake, because I believe that was 1908, if I remember. But he was a seismologist and created the Richter magnitude scale to quantify earthquakes. And I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. Earthquakes, no problem. It's like, woo, having an earthquake. What was that? 2.5, 3.1. You know, it was kind of a game. But the really big ones can be scary for sure. All right. Carol Burnett, 1933. She was born. TV host, she says. She was a comedian. Just amazing, amazing actress. And if you haven't seen any of her work, then go look it up on YouTube. All right, Jet Li, born in 1963, actor. I didn't realize he was in Lethal Weapon 4. I love the Lethal Weapon movies and Mel Gibson. But this is about Jet Li in a movie called War and The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. But Jet Li, yeah, he's quite popular in Hollywood. All right, Kevin James, more on TV, comedian. Says he's an actor, born in 1965. The King of Queens. That's kind of his breakthrough TV show. And he's on one now. It's got his name, James, like, I don't know, What About James, or The House of James, or something. I don't know, something with James in it. Or Kevin. What about Kevin? No, it's Kevin, not James. Kevin. Something. And it's on, at least in Cambodia, it's on RTV right now. Melania Trump, born on this day, 1970. The United States First Lady at the moment. Don't know what else to say about her. Stana Katic. I threw her in here in 1978 because I like the TV show Castle. And I don't know that she's ever going to do anything else because she's kind of typecast for her role in that. But Castle, love Castle. If you haven't seen that TV show, get the box or whatever. Channing Tatum, 1980. He's an actor. He's been in lots of stuff. He's kind of a current heartthrob. Yeah, whatever. Friday the 27th. Who has a birthday coming up on the 27th? Oops, did I miss one? Okay, Samuel Morse, 1791, was the inventor of the electromagnetic telegraph. Didn't we just do, oh, Marconi and the radio, you know, but Morse is the telegraph. All right, I'm human, okay, I'm human. I had Morse on my mind because I knew he was coming up, you see? Oh my gosh. Forgive me earlier about the Marconi stuff. Okay, Casey Kasem, getting back to radio. He, you know, now Ryan Seacrest is all the rage about the top 40 shows and hosting on TV and all this, right? American Idol and everything, New Year's Eve. Well, before Casey Kasem, but after Wolfgang Jack and after Dick Clark, you had Casey Kasem. He kind of ruled the 70s and 80s as being the American top 40 voice. In fact, gosh, I think Ryan Seacrest actually took over his show. I'd have to check that out. But I didn't realize this. He was actually the voice of Shaggy in the animated Saturday morning cartoon Scooby-Doo. I'm sure I've heard that before, but I just never clicked. So, Casey Kasem, and those were the days. They had the transistor radios, and yeah. Sheena Easton, born in 1959, singer, again, the 1980s, very, very huge pop star. Saturday the 28th, who has birthdays on Saturday? Well, Harper Lee was born in 1926, the author of To Kill a Mockingbird. Very controversial, huge movie with Sidney Poitier, and I can picture his face, but oh my gosh, I can't think of the other guy, his name. But yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird. It kind of talks about what life was like in the South, just prior or like around the civil rights movement, you know. Okay, Saddam Hussein was born in 1937. Of course, he was the leader of Iraq and thought he was the reincarnation of Nebuchadnezzar because Babylon is in Iraq. Jay Leno, 1950, comedian and television talk show host of The Tonight Show forever and ever and ever. And like, look at that big chin. Like, what's going on with that chin? But you know, that's the kind of thing about comedians is got some kind of irregular feature. You just roll with it, you know. Penelope Cruz, 1974. Yeah, actress, lots of movies. And for you sports fans, I have no idea who this guy is. Juan Mata. It seems like he's a pretty big deal in the world of football, or as Americans would say, soccer. Born in 1988, he was a midfielder for Chelsea and Manchester United. Moving on to Sunday, the 29th of April. We have William Randolph Hearst, born in 1863. He was an American newspaper magnate, newspaper publisher. The movie Citizen Kane is supposed to be about him. He has this amazing castle, Hearst Castle, in San Simeon, California, which is now open for tours. But yeah, you know, he might not have been so nice of a guy. Definitely was controlling the press. If you think of Rupert Murdoch, Rupert, right? Rupert Murdoch now, and how he controls so much of the media. Well, that was Hearst back in his day. All right, Duke Ellington, 1899, composer, pianist, big band leader. Yes, indeed, absolutely iconic. Hirohito, the Emperor Showa, 1901 is when he was born, coming up on Saturday. The 124th Japanese emperor. He was emperor from 1926 to 1989, of course. Right smack dab in the middle of that is World War II. Dale Earnhardt, 1951, race car driver, love NASCAR. Some people call it just roundy round, you know. They prefer stock racing, or well, this is stock racing. I'm sorry. They prefer drag racing or Indy racing. But yeah, Dale Earnhardt, his son, Dale Earnhardt Jr. went on to be a racer as well. But Dale Earnhardt was in the generation of my favorite, Richard Petty. Jerry Seinfeld, 1955. Comedian and actor, of course, his TV show, Seinfeld, just broke the molds and is still classic today. I never watched it the first season or so. And then some people kept telling me, you know, you remind me so much of Elaine. I'm like, who's Elaine? And so I had to watch Seinfeld to find out what they were talking about. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I kind of get it. I mean, sometimes depending on my hair and my clothes and things like that. I mean, back in the day, I was like fashionable like she was on the show, you know. So sometimes my clothes would be like that. My hair might be like that. So physically a little bit of resemblance, but yeah, also in the character. Yeah, okay, I admit it. Daniel Day-Lewis, born in 1957, obviously an actor. But he has been in so many classic films. I mean, I can't even begin to name them all. I think he was just recently, he played Abraham Lincoln. But so many before that even. So yeah, check out Daniel Day-Lewis. Happy birthday. Michelle Pfeiffer, 1957. She was in Scarface with Al Pacino. She was in movies with Mel Gibson. And so happy birthday to Michelle Pfeiffer. Uma Thurman, not my favorite. Don't really care so much about her. But she kind of like rose to fame with Pulp Fiction, and she was Kill Bill. So Uma Thurman, yeah, whatever. Andre Agassi, 1970. Tennis, like, so huge tennis legend. Back in the day, he had lots of hair and big, long, shaggy hair. Now he's gone into this like shaving his head bald thing, which is very popular for a lot of people. So our final day, Monday the 30th, which will make a full week for us, Cornelius Vanderbilt, born in 1898. So one of the huge magnates, again, as mentioned with William Randolph Hearst, who was controlling the newspapers. Vanderbilt controlled the railroads. You also have like the Astors and the fur trade. And, well, just think of all the big names of places around New York City that are named after them, and the foundations, the Carnegie Foundation. Who was Carnegie? You know, all these guys. The Kennedys ended up joining with the bootlegging. All right, Willie Nelson, 1933, musician and singer, amazing country singer. I believe he was one of the Highwaymen with Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings and another guy, Merle Haggard, maybe someone like that. So Willie Nelson, country music legend, absolutely. Kirsten Dunst, 1982. She kind of got more recognized in Spider-Man. She's been in lots of stuff. Yeah, happy birthday, Kirsten. And finally, our last one, Gal Gadot. I think it's Gadot. 1985. She just played Wonder Woman. Been in a couple other things too. She's kind of on the rise. Hello, Impesa 65. And we've got 5 people on Periscope. Thank you so much for watching live. And so yeah, that's kind of wraps up the show for today. If you join late, I guess you have to watch on replay to see everybody who's got birthdays this week and see if your favorites are in there. But thank you so much for watching. And again, you know, the whole Deconstructed brand, what we're doing is inspiring critical thinking skills by our Saturday show, which is news headlines, and we deconstruct a story. We take one last week, it was Syria, but in particular, the chemical weapons attacks. And so we always choose just one story to go into depth. But the rest of the week, Monday is Wacky Holidays. Tuesday, as today, is celebrity birthdays. Wednesday, we go a little bit more esoteric with quantum research. Thursday, what's Thursday? Thursday is This Week in History. And Friday is travel. I go someplace and someplace most likely around Cambodia, but I could be traveling anywhere. And then Saturday with Deconstructed news headlines. Alrighty. So if you like what I'm doing, then like, follow, subscribe across social media. I'm at The Maven 2017, and we've got YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitter, Instagram, Gab, and the biggie, Patreon. So if you really, really, really like what I'm doing, you're able to join up as a sponsor, just $1 a month or $5 a month, up to you, and just comes right out of your credit card. You just sign up for that, and it just automatically happens. So would appreciate sponsors as well. But it's always available to you because this information is for you. So I hope you've enjoyed it. We're going to end the Periscope. Let's see here. Got to end the stream on YouTube first.